I don't want to get all my stuff wet yet. So one of the things I need to do is whenever you're shooting rain, there's kind of a magic number, and it's an 80th of a second. So I'm going to set it to an 80th of a second. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to dial in. Christopher, stand there and look at me, please. I'm going to go ahead and make sure that he's dialed in. Look right at me, please. There we go. So I actually can see him. I would normally do this with a flash, but I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to make it rain on him right now. Look at me. So there you go. Enjoy that rain. Look at me. Oh, isn't this incredible? So you can just make everybody wet in your house. So we just made some nice summer rain. And again, an 80th of a second. If I found if you play with it, a 40th of a second, a 60th, the streaks get too long and then it doesn't look like rain. It just looks like big lines. And if you do it too fast, you freeze the drops, which is a whole different look. If you want to backlight somebody, make it really dramatic with frozen stuff, that's fine. But for doing this kind of a shot in an 80th of a second, trust me on that. So Chris, you can move out of the way, and we're going to move right on over here to the table. I set some stuff up today. Now, again, in my front yard, all I've got is the whole neighborhood behind me, so I'm not trying to make a great shot. But a lot of you have been taking the sunflower photos. So I went down to Trader Joe's today, and I got me some sunflowers. I'm going to get this one that seemed to be the most open. So see if I can get it to look at me here, kind of. There we go.
And by the way, when Mark is done doing these little projects here, he's going to go back in and open them up in the computer, and you're going to actually, he'll edit through these pictures.
Yeah. So here's what I want to do. I want to show you a little tip. I'm going to go ahead and take a shot of the flower just the way it is. Here's what I'm going to make a suggestion this time of year that you carry. You don't have to get one this big. Go get yourself a spray bottle. So I got the spray bottle here, but you can actually buy a little tiny one. Why? Because when you're out doing your photos of flowers, I just took a shot without it, but now I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to hit this thing. Get it back up a little bit so I'm going to hit it with a bunch of water there. And then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take another photo with the water. And that's just going to give me a little bit of drama. It's going to give me water droplets, so you can make your own water as much as you want. But here's another thing. We'll open that back up and grab me that reflector out of there. Is another thing to remember is that flowers, when I first started shooting flowers, John, who taught me photography, used to always say, man, hit that thing with a flash. And I used to go, flash on flowers? And he went, yeah, they need light, and then you're going to get nice color. And I just didn't believe him for the longest time. And then finally one day he goes, just trust me, just do it. And I couldn't believe using a flash on a flower, how much more color I got in that photo. But so we always do the backlight lit stuff. It is pretty dramatic, but one of the things I want to also show you is I'm going to go ahead and take a shot here, and it's going to kind of get a shot as my base. And I'm going to show you these photos here in a minute, but it's kind of harsh, even if I make an adjustment. But if you carry a reflector, you don't have to carry one this big. It's just, I couldn't find my other small one, but I'm going to go ahead and take a picture. This flower's still looking into the sun, but now what I did is I got that reflector on there. I lost some of my light, so I'm going to make a little adjustment there. But when you do this, it softens that light up so much by hitting it with the reflector. Plus, you get the benefit of all that light being shoved on there. So carry around a little diffuser, and I tell you, it's really cool. So that's your tip. Carry a spray bottle and carry a diffuser. One of the other reasons to carry a spray bottle, and I learned this, a lot of you guys know our buddy Truman that used to come to a lot of the workshops, Truman Holzclaw, and he used to lead workshops into Death Valley. And my friend Boris and I went to Death Valley a few years ago, and Boris was going, hey, we got to carry a spray bottle with us. And I'm going, carry a spray bottle? And he goes, yeah, we're going to go into this place called Marble Canyon. And he goes, wait till you see what happens. You know, when you go to the beach, you're going to have to move so I can get this. You know, you go to the beach and you pick up rocks at the beach, and then you get home and you go, why did I even collect this thing? It looks ugly. Because when it was wet, it looked really cool. That's why you carry a spray bottle. Watch what I'm going to do here. I am going to take a shot of this flower. I'm going to open this lens up.
Yeah, or a rock.
Or is that, what did I say it was?
Flower.
Oh, this flower. Yeah. There we go. I'm going to take one there, and now I'm going to spray this with water.
Yeah.
So Boris and I go hiking in Death Valley, and we take a spray bottle with us simply so we can do this. Spray it up with water, and it just brings out all the colors in it. So that's another reason to carry a spray bottle with you. Just keep it in the car. Okay, Will, this is just an idea, the next thing, of some fun stuff you can do. Why don't you come around the other side? We're going to make a mess here in a second. My list of what I'm going to do. All right. Will is going to help me out by, I just need you not to cast a shadow onto the water. So you'll have to come from this angle, not further. Let me kind of see what that's going to look like. What I'm going to have him do is I'm going to have him grab this lemon, and he's going to drop it in there when I tell him to. If I don't, he's just going to randomly throw them in, but I don't want him to do that. Nope, don't do it yet. So what I'm going to do is just one more check. There we go. Okay. I'm going to put my camera on high speed continuous, and I'm going to say 1, 2, 3, and you'll drop it. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Woo! That one got me. Oh, we hit it just perfect the first time. So I'm going to just go with the lime just so we have one more option. Okay, 1, 2, 3. All right, so we got something to look at here in a minute when we bring that in. I got it backlit, so we got that. A lot of times, you know, a lot of people show you how to do like water drops and things, and it requires the timing, and you got to get a flash going. This is just easy project out in your front yard. I want to try one more really cool thing. I saw this done, and we're going to see if it's actually going to work today. Never done it. Will is going to come probably from that side right there. And so it's going to go 1, 2, 3, and you probably use both hands, and you're going to squeeze that bottle so it squirts that lemon up into the sky. But hold on, because probably in a hundredth of a second. Check that again. Okay. So 1, 2, 3. All right. So it's going to get the person that's doing this all wet for you. So that was just one more cool idea. Wait till you see, I think, the final results. You're going to love it. I'm going to try one last thing that you guys can try. This one is my ode to Karen. Karen, you're going to love this. She's going to go, oh, yeah, I do this all the time. But I'm going to take the lime, and I'm going to cut it in half. There we go. And I'm going to do a picture where it looks like Will's chopping through the lime. But I'm going to go ahead and grab a fork, and I'm just going to shove the fork in the lime here. I'm going to shove the other side of this fork into this lime. Will, you're going to take this knife like here, you're cutting into this. Let's see if I can do this without. I'm just going to rotate everything a little bit. Come behind it, Will, because you're going to kind of block the car back there. Up there, get behind it. There you go, because I want your yellow shirt kind of blocking things. I want these really close. Like that, just stay put. I want to see more knife. I can't really tell it's a knife, so I want you to go up and just kind of tip it a little bit at an angle like this. Hand me the spray bottle.
Oh.
So I'm going to take the spray bottle this time. Take a couple shots there, okay? Can't really, still can't tell it's a knife. There we go, right there. And I'm gonna go spray some of this. In case I can't see it, let's just switch sides really quick, Will. So I get a backlight. Stand over here so you don't get still with your other hand. I know you're not left-handed, but yep, get your knife in there. Once you get with your other hand, lift up that fork, and I want you to hold this about like up here a little bit, like it's flying off the fork. So it's not touching. Lift it up. All right. So I'm gonna get a few shots with some of that stuff in there. So there's some cool things that you can do at home. So make it rain. Remember what I said the secret was? Is it's going to be use a fan spray. You can use I've tried it with a regular hose where you squirt it up in the air, but what happens, you get giant big drops. You get one of those fan sprayers, they're like $8 at Home Depot, 80th of a second. Doesn't matter what you're doing with your f-stop, whatever it's going to take to get them. I normally would get a reflector and shine some light back in their face when I'm doing that, but an 80th of a second, you're going to get great streaks. You're going to see in a minute. Carry a water bottle. When you guys go out in the morning and you want to shoot some flowers, like I said, spray them up nice and good. Like this one, I'm going to spray it one last time. I don't really think I saw too many drops on when I did that. Awesome. So now I got to look like morning dew. Also, you see rocks. Wet them up. Any type of texture you want. You can even, do it on the sidewalk, whatever it is. You want to see something better. Throw some fruit, drop some strawberries in water. See what you can do with that. Catch these splashes. Get creative with cutting fruit, different things. So I'm going to go inside and I'm going to go download these really quick.
Yeah, the tortilla thing.
Did I hear somebody say something?
Nope. All right, so Mark is going inside, and then turn off that camera, Vanessa, that phone, and
Mark's audio is hard to hear. I wonder if his wife might have her hand over the speaker part of the phone.
Yeah.
something switched there at that point. I'm not quite
Yeah, I think sometimes if you hold the phone, by where the mouth part is, that could be why we cannot hear.
So he's done on that part of it, and it's
Okay.
going to take him a few minutes while he loads the images into the computer.
Good.
And for everybody's sake, I hope Mark has finished uploading these.
I'm done. Yeah.
Please, thank you.
Hey, Steve, I have one you probably heard.
Try it out.
When was baseball first mentioned in Scripture?
In the beginning.
In the beginning.
Oh.
Genesis
Adam
1:1.
stole first, Eve stole second, and they were both thrown out.
Oh.
And that ends tonight's comedy session.
Awesome. All right. You guys see on my screen?
Yep.
All right. So here's the images. So I just kind of went through really quickly and tried to find a couple of them. And I sorted them quickly. So I'll say, just send me the 3 stars. And let's go ahead and pull Christopher into Photoshop.
Which, by the way, Chris,
Oh,
having a good time.
that looks great.
Yeah.
We'll just kind of, and again, we weren't trying to do anything super creative here. Just wanted to show you like how much it looks like rain, but you have to get backlit. One of the things to look for, notice the rain on the right. This is where that open sky was. And where it gets white like that, it gets very streaky and over bright. But if you can actually angle yourself to where you got a little bit of a darker background, your rain will show up a lot better. And I didn't do it. I was going to do it. I wrote it down to remind myself is I'll do this with flowers. So you can get one of those heads and go out in your garden and you can, play around and make it look like it's a summer rain on your flowers. And you'll get that same look. But pretty good. 80th of a second. Like I said, if it was a 40th of a second, these would be twice as long, and then they just look like lines. And you start getting over 125th of a second, they get so tiny that all of a sudden you just have these little dots everywhere. And then you get into a 500 and you start freezing them. And it doesn't really look like rain. It just looks like speckles everywhere. So, and it wasn't something like I came up with this. I've known from other photographers that have figured this out, and they're like, an 80th works. And I've used it a number of times, and it does. It just works great.
Looks cool.
So these two really didn't work well, my getting wet. So I pulled the one that I did the night before. So
Oh,
we have these oleanders growing on our fence from our neighbors. So the one on the left, I just went out there, and you take it and you're like, oh, that's kind of a nice little photo. I sprayed those flowers with the spray bottle, and it just gives it life. It gives it something really cool. So I used to do this with my friend John, like California poppies. We'd pull alongside the road. The other thing that I would always carry with me is one of these. You guys carry something like this in your car? It's just a black piece of cloth. The better yet is to use velvet, and I do have a velvet piece in my car because velvet absorbs light better. But the problem is most of the fabric stores only carry it at around Christmas time, and then you can't find it a lot of times. But you hold this behind the flower, off to the side, whatever, and you just get that nice black background if you need it. Because a lot of times, you're alongside the road and you go, oh, look at that poppy. You get somebody to hold that thing up, and now you've got your black background, and it really stands out, especially if you can get it backlit. So again, that spray bottle. One of the other things that you'll find that the spray bottle does, so just a grape leaf in the backyard, dry, hit it with, and it brings the color out. And one of the other things you can do if it's wet is you put a polarizer on, and you'll even pull more color in that thing. But you'll find, and it's because light's refracting and bending, and you're getting the leaf wet, you really saturate the colors. Here's that ugly rock, right? No, kind of a neat piece of rock there. You get it wet though. This is actually one that's not going to do it justice without me opening it up here and us looking at it. Kind of the before.
Oh yeah.
And the after, and by the time you come in here and you tweak a little bit on it, and you throw a little color in there. It's all stuff that you can't do with it dry. You get that piece of rock wet though, and you got a piece of art. Like I said, there's a spot, and I believe it's called Marble Canyon in Death Valley. And when you walk through it, it has that kind of dry, not wet look, right? It just kind of has that hazy look to it. You hit it with water and it looks like this stuff. It's crazy, really, really cool. So another reason to carry. You can also just carry bottles of water. It just doesn't work well when you're trying to spray a flower with a bottle of water. Gets a little messy. And again, this is just fun stuff. I'm actually going to clear this so you can kind of see the series of, if I was doing this for real, I would have put it on a tripod and tried to get it right, but, play with my exposure and do this 20 different times. And each time you do it, you just get a different kind of splash.
Yeah.
But if you get it backlit, then you really get it's no different than like using a flash, but it's a simple project anybody can do at home. And then this one's kind of cool.
Cool.
I would have done this 20 times if I was just doing this by myself to get it just right. But look at how that water, I got one the other day I saw where somebody had it and the water was swirling around the lime. And it shot his wife in the face with all the water when she did it. So. All right. And then I actually love kind of this one here. And again, this is one where obviously, I would edit, I would crop this thing up.
Cool.
But
I love that splash.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
just that
neat.
little bit of squirt, you know, if you had somebody
Mhm.
helping you to spray it in the right direction, neat little things. And, you know, if you could get it, like I said, lifted up off the table. Let's see if I had one of them here that I didn't get low enough to really see it. But, you know, I've seen where a lot of guys do this and they'll hold them up in the air and you'll get the knife going through. So they're up, you know, 6 inches off of the cutting board and it
Right.
looks like they're just flying. So, and I probably should have spread them out a little bit more, but you could crop that in and make a really cool photo with it. So there was just some quick ideas we thought we'd share with you tonight of just some fun things you can do. Any questions?
How much does your son charge you to let you put him in a rain photo?
I didn't really tell him what he was going to do. I was just kind of, you know, my daughter wouldn't do it, you know, and my other son was like, you mean if I do it first, I don't have to help you anymore? And I went, yeah. So I made him stand there and get him wet. So,
Those are cool, Mark.
yeah.
Yeah, thank
I
you.
love these things right here. This is just great backyard fun. We used to do this all the time when the kids were little. And yeah, I posted one the other day with Christopher when he was a little kid. We got the skim board and he had a little matching shirt and we just went out there and played. And, you know, summertime, you're always looking for things to do to cool off a little bit. We used to do this a lot by the pool where everybody's already wet and they don't care. And so just thought that would be some interesting, fun things to show you tonight.
Yeah.
Definitely fun.
Thank you.
Mhm.
That's cool, Mark.
Yeah.
Which brings us to
Very
this week's
cool.
challenge.
Yes. So the challenge is you saw what I showed you. This week's challenge is to do your own variation of something that I've shown you.
Okay.
Whether it's using a spray bottle, whether it's getting creative with food flying, making it rain. So fun with water.
Okay.
And I purposely threw that in there because I know, you know, some of you are going to go, yeah, I can't make it rain on somebody. I don't have anybody to shoot. We all can get a flower. We all can get a spray bottle and spray some plants.
So definitely looking forward to what you come up with. I think based on what everybody's been coming up with lately, I think there's going to be some amazing, amazing pictures. So put on your thinking caps. And
the hardest part is maybe I'll put a little collage together of anybody that wasn't on the call. So they're going to know what we meant by one of these ideas.
I think, Mark, you know, we didn't actually talk about this before, but maybe if you have a idea that you want to do that wasn't part of this, but you want to share with others, that can be part of the challenge too. If you have like an amazing Here Are the Summertime Blues picture idea that you want to perform, that would be pretty cool too. So, you know, if it's not one of the 4 or 5 that Mark did.
The only caveat is do it with that everybody could do.
Yep.
That's what I tried to pick today, you know, these ones, because if you look, I was telling Steve, I was watching so many videos and things where people are like, make it look like someone's underwater, and it's very simple. And you're looking at it going, very simple. The guy went to Home Depot and bought 2x4s and cut them and caulked them and put it on a piece of plexiglass and laid it on an old, you know, table, and then he filled it with water, and now it made this simple reflection. Like, to me, that's not simple. I'm not going to build that stuff. I want you to show me something you can do with a Pyrex pan and a cup of water.
Is everybody up to the challenge?
Yeah.
Yes.
Fun. Looks fun.
Make it rain. Make it rain. No, it's going to be fun.
Make it rain.
Definitely going to be fun to see what everybody comes up with. So.
All right.
Hey, did anybody feel moved to want to volunteer to do the devotional next week? Yes, you're all so excited about doing it. If you feel moved, you can give us a jingle. Just give us a message, and we'll be happy to let you do it. But thanks, Dad, again for giving that devotional tonight. We appreciate that. That was great. So hopefully you had fun tonight. We wanted to keep this meeting kind of light and fun, and just a time that we could all hang out and enjoy some photographic excitement. Good job, Mark. It worked great. So
Mm-hmm.
we can do more trainings like that, I think, again in the future. Definitely.
I thought he was going to do a magic trick at the end there with the lime on top of the water. I thought he was
Oh,
going to
don't-
suck the
don't.
lime in.
Make it go in the bottle.
Don't encourage Mark with magic tricks.
I know, I'm looking around going, what do
I can see that. He's like, oh, I got one here somewhere. We'll be here all night once he starts. I got to say one thing, though. This has nothing to do with, well, it does have to do with the magic trick. I was going to say it doesn't, but when we were in India, just to share a brief story, and then we'll cut it off. But Mark did, this last time they were there, did a whole magic show for the kids in the school, but he did it as a presentation of the gospel message. And I kept making fun of him, saying like, yeah, gospel message through sorcery. That's really good, Mark. But the thing was, it was just awesome. You would not believe, we can't evangelize in India legally, and we can't do all this stuff. But the way Mark built this message around, it was 40 minutes of talking to these kids. They were so engrossed with what he was saying and listening and giving feedback about the gospel, not just about the show that was going on. It was just awesome. So Mark actually is a very good magician. So that's why I didn't want you to encourage him, because he will go on for hours. But no, it was just a cool thing.
Trying to find, you actually can see it if you watch on our channel.
I
Our
want to see him
most
grow
watched
hair.
videos.
You guys have a channel? A YouTube channel?
Who said that?
Mhm.
Me,
Lynn,
Lynn.
you didn't just say that, did you?
You
Lynn,
didn't really say that.
that means you're not subscribed.
Well, no, I'm not. I
Oh.
never knew that.
No, we do have a YouTube channel on our Panoptic Chopsticks, and we are starting a Vertical Central YouTube channel as well to put up a lot of training. But we have 480 videos, training videos up on YouTube. We have 65 full hour-long shows that we've done. It's a wealth of information and
I
craziness.
didn't know that either.
Worth it.
Am I the only one that didn't know?
No, I didn't know that.
No, you're not the only one.
Well, there you go. So if you follow this link, it'll take you to our channel, but this is not representative of what's on our channel. It's just why we were in India. We, every single day, Amanda, Steve, and I, at the end of the day, would set up a camera and talk about our day and recap our day. Because the first trip, we really had a hard time decompressing and talking about things. And then when you leave, you forget a lot of stuff. And we thought, you know what? We're not going to forget this time. And every night we did it.
I can say it's super interesting to watch, because it is a true behind the scenes peek at what we did each day. And not just because we were on the trip, but people have told us it was really cool to actually, you got a feeling of what the trip was like. It was very encouraging days, very down days, very exciting days, very scary days, all wrapped up into 18 videos. But yeah, if you go to YouTube, you search Panoptic Chopsticks, you can subscribe, and every time we put a new video up, which hasn't been a lot lately, because we've been putting a lot more effort into Vertical Central right now, but we've got a lot of videos, and we'll be posting a lot on the Vertical Central YouTube channel soon. So if there's stuff that you guys want to learn, you can send us a message, and we'll be creating content for Vertical Central specifically. So